Have you ever imagined a car that powers itself forever? What if we told you that dream might already be real? In a quiet corner of Zimbabwe, one man has done the unthinkable. Maxwell Chikumbutso, an inventor often called the African Tesla, has just revealed his latest mind-blowing creation, a self-charging electric car. Yes, a car that generates its own energy as it moves, without ever needing to stop at a charging station or plug into the grid. Sounds impossible? Well, Maxwell has been proving skeptics wrong for years. Let's dive into this incredible story. Born and raised in the humble streets of Harare, Maxwell dropped out of school at a young age. He had no formal engineering education, no fancy degrees, no laboratories to experiment in, just an unstoppable curiosity and a mind full of ideas. From an early age, he was fascinated by energy. Why should people be slaves to electricity bills? Why should our cars be chained to gas pumps and charging cables? These questions kept him awake at night. Years of quiet experimentation in his small workshop led to inventions that shocked the world. First, he built a radio transmitter that could broadcast over vast distances. Then, he developed a generator that ran without fuel, a machine that created its own power. Critics laughed, but engineers who saw it firsthand couldn't explain how it worked. And now, Maxwell has gone a step further. His newest project is a sleek, futuristic-looking car. At first glance, it resembles a luxury electric vehicle, but there's something special about it. Inside its body are secret components Maxwell calls a microkinetic power unit, a revolutionary energy system that harvests energy from motion, vibrations, and the environment. This isn't solar power. It isn't just regenerative braking. According to Maxwell, this car can run continuously without stopping, without charging, and without emitting pollution. The first time he drove it through the streets of Harare, bystanders were amazed. They watched it roll effortlessly down the road, no exhaust fumes, no noise, just pure, silent motion. News of his invention quickly spread on social media. Videos of his test drives went viral, with millions of viewers asking, "Is this real?" But here's the fascinating part: Maxwell's technology isn't just about the car. It's about breaking free from an energy system that he believes is designed to keep people dependent. He envisions a world where homes, businesses, and vehicles generate their own power, liberating humanity from the grip of fuel companies and power monopolies. Of course, many experts have tried to debunk his work. They claim it violates the laws of physics, that it's nothing more than smoke and mirrors. Yet, every time Maxwell opens his garage doors and shows his machines in action, critics are left speechless. Engineers and journalists from around the world have been invited to see the car, and none can explain how it works. Is this the dawn of a new energy era? In interviews, Maxwell remains humble. He doesn't call himself a genius. He simply says he's blessed with ideas that come from a higher power. He often credits his faith and determination, saying he refuses to believe something is impossible until he has tried it himself. So what's next for Maxwell and his self-charging car? He says this is just the beginning. He's already working on making the technology smaller, cheaper, and more accessible so it can reach millions of people. He dreams of seeing these cars on highways around the world, transforming how we travel forever. But as you might expect, not everyone is happy about his work. Some powerful interests, he claims, have tried to shut him down. He's faced threats, sabotage, and immense pressure to abandon his inventions. But he refuses to give up. The big question now is, will Maxwell's invention make it to the global stage? Or will it be buried by those who profit from the status quo? The car itself is still a prototype, but it's a working one, a symbol of what human creativity and persistence can achieve. And as the camera pans over his workshop, you can see other mysterious devices covered in tarps, waiting to be revealed. Could one of them be the next breakthrough? We may not know all the details of how Maxwell's car works yet. But one thing is certain, it has already captured the imagination of millions. In a world struggling with climate change, rising energy costs, and environmental destruction, the promise of a self-charging car feels like a miracle. And so, the journey continues. Every day, more people are learning about Maxwell Chikumbutso and his vision. His name is spreading beyond Zimbabwe, beyond Africa, into the world's consciousness. Will his inventions change the world? Only time will tell. But as long as there are dreamers like Maxwell, people who dare to challenge the impossible, hope will always be alive. And as we watch his car glide silently into the horizon, we're reminded of a simple but powerful truth: the future belongs to those who believe in it enough to build it. And so the story of Maxwell Chikumbutso's self-charging car rolls on with each turn of the wheel, with each spark of curiosity, with each new believer who dares to imagine a better tomorrow. And it keeps going because the journey of innovation never ends. And so the car keeps moving, silently weaving through the dusty streets of Harare, drawing crowds wherever it goes. People stop what they're doing just to catch a glimpse. Some cheer, some stare in disbelief, some whisper to each other as though they are witnessing something magical. Children run after it, their eyes wide with wonder, shouting Maxwell's name like he's already a legend. And perhaps he is. Because in the heart of Africa, among the tin roofs and open markets, one man has done what the world's biggest companies couldn't. He's created a car that never stops. At night, the car glows faintly under the moonlight, its polished panels reflecting the stars above. Inside, there is no engine roar, no hum of a motor, only the quiet rhythm of innovation at work. Passengers sit comfortably as it glides effortlessly along, powered by forces no one can quite explain. Meanwhile, word of Maxwell's creation continues to spread. Journalists arrive from London, Tokyo, New York, eager to uncover his secret. Cameras flash. Reporters ask him question after question. But Maxwell just smiles and gestures to the car as if to say, "See for yourself." They watch the car circle a track for hours without slowing, without stopping, and leave shaking their heads, unable to comprehend what they've just seen. In boardrooms thousands of miles away, whispers turn into serious conversations. Energy executives call emergency meetings. Investors demand answers. How could one man, without funding or resources, threaten to disrupt an entire global industry? But Maxwell doesn't seem concerned. Every day, he returns to his workshop. Every day, he tweaks his designs, improves his invention, and dreams even bigger. He speaks of a world where cities are lit by self-sustaining power, where remote villages have clean water thanks to machines that run indefinitely, where families never worry about filling a tank or paying an electric bill again. And with each passing day, more and more people believe him. Even as the critics shout impossible, even as the skeptics write angry articles and call him a fraud, the car keeps moving, silently proving everyone wrong. On social media, hashtags like #MaxwellsCar and #FreeEnergyFall begin to trend. Memes flood the internet, some mocking, others in awe. But one thing is clear: the world is watching. And yet, behind the scenes, the challenges are growing. Anonymous emails warn him to stop. Strange cars park outside his home at night. People offer him fortunes to sell the patent, but always with one condition: it must never reach the public. But Maxwell refuses. Because this was never about money. Never about fame. It was always about freedom. Freedom from fossil fuels. Freedom from blackouts. Freedom from the systems that keep people dependent and powerless. And as he watches his car glide down an open road at sunset, no exhaust, no noise, no limits, he knows he's on the right path. Because every revolution starts with one person who refuses to stop. And as the camera zooms out, we see not just one car but rows of them, more prototypes, more possibilities waiting to be unveiled. And beyond that, we see families smiling, children cheering, entire communities lit up by clean, endless energy. Maxwell's dream is no longer just his own. It's becoming everyone's. And so the story rolls on. The car keeps moving. And so does the hope it carries with it. It never stops. It never needs to. Because the future has already begun, one silent revolution at a time. And somewhere, in the dim glow of his workshop light, Maxwell Chikumbutso is already working on what comes next. And the world is still watching, still waiting, still dreaming. And the car just keeps going. And going. And going. The camera fades into an airport runway at dawn. There, under the faint orange sky, Maxwell's car sits surrounded by a crowd of engineers, government officials, and curious onlookers. Today is a historic day. The car is about to be tested before an international audience for the very first time. Journalists from CNN, BBC, Al Jazeera, and countless tech blogs have flown in to witness it. The air buzzes with murmurs and camera shutters. Maxwell steps forward, calm and confident, wearing his signature modest smile. "We are not just testing a car," he says into the microphone, "we are testing humanity's belief in what is possible." A hush falls over the crowd. The car's doors open. A professional driver gets inside. Slowly, silently, the car begins to move down the runway. No cables, no fuel, no sound. As it accelerates, the crowd cheers louder and louder. 50 miles per hour. 100 miles per hour. 150 miles per hour. And still, no signs of stopping. Maxwell watches quietly, hands folded behind his back, as the car completes lap after lap. Hours pass. The sun climbs high into the sky. Reporters are now live streaming to millions of viewers across the globe. "Ladies and gentlemen," one reporter says breathlessly, "we've been here for 5 hours now, and this car has not stopped once. This is extraordinary." By nightfall, the car is still circling the runway. Headlights glowing like beacons in the dark, the driver waves to the crowd, who have stayed all day, captivated. That evening, news headlines explode. Maxwell's miracle car stuns the world. Energy industry on edge as self-charging vehicle passes first global test. A new dawn for transportation? But not everyone is celebrating. Behind closed doors, executives at oil and energy companies meet in emergency sessions. Plans are drafted to counteract the growing excitement. Anonymous opinion pieces appear in newspapers, calling the car a hoax, a danger, a scam. Yet, people can't unsee what they've seen. Videos of the test drive rack up tens of millions of views overnight. Hashtags trend again. #Maxwell's car. #Energy freedom. #End of fossil fuels. In the weeks that follow, Maxwell receives invitations from around the world. Governments in Europe, Asia, and the Americas offer him facilities and funding to build more cars. He politely declines. "This," he says, "must belong to the people. Not to corporations. Not to governments. To everyone." Meanwhile, back in Zimbabwe, his workshop has become a shrine of sorts. People travel from neighboring countries just to catch a glimpse of him, to shake his hand, to say thank you. And then Maxwell reveals his next surprise. It isn't just a car. It's a bus. Then a truck. Then an entire suite of machines, water pumps, generators, even small aircraft, all running on the same self-sustaining principle. The world is stunned again. Factories that once burned coal begin shutting down their smokestacks. Towns in remote deserts that never had electricity light up at night for the first time. Families that once walked miles to fetch water now have it flowing into their homes. But as the benefits spread, so too does the resistance. Whispers of sabotage grow louder. A mysterious fire burns part of Maxwell's workshop to the ground one night. Threatening letters arrive almost daily. Anonymous callers demand he sell the technology and walk away. But Maxwell does not flinch. He rebuilds what was destroyed. He strengthens his team. He moves prototypes to secret locations. And he keeps working. Because the dream is bigger than him now. In one moving scene, broadcast to the world, Maxwell stands on a hill overlooking a darkened valley. Slowly, one by one, lights flicker on in the homes below, powered by his invention. He smiles, a quiet satisfaction in his eyes. "This," he says softly, "is why we do not stop." And the camera pans out, revealing not just one valley, but countless others, waiting for their own light to shine. The car keeps going. The dream keeps growing. And the revolution rolls on. Through storms of doubt, through the noise of naysayers, through the darkness of sabotage, it keeps moving. Because some things, once set in motion, cannot be stopped. And as Maxwell's story spreads to classrooms, newsrooms, living rooms around the world, children begin drawing pictures of his car. Students write essays about him. Entrepreneurs dream of what they can build next. And far away, on another runway, a new prototype is already waiting under a tarp, something even more advanced, more breathtaking, more impossible than anyone has yet imagined. And so, the journey continues. The car keeps moving. The people keep believing. And the future keeps arriving faster than anyone thought possible. And still, the car does not stop. It cannot stop. Because Maxwell Chikumbutso built more than just a machine. He built a movement. And movements, when powered by hope, run forever. And so, here we are at the edge of something extraordinary. From a small workshop in Harare to the eyes of the entire planet, Maxwell Chikumbutso has shown us that greatness does not come from wealth, or power, or privilege. It comes from vision, persistence, and the courage to challenge what everyone else calls impossible. He started with nothing but an idea, and now, the world is watching as his dream rolls silently down roads across continents. The car that never stops has become more than just an invention. It has become a symbol. A symbol of human ingenuity. A symbol of freedom from systems that once held us back. A symbol of a future we can build if only we dare to believe. And perhaps that is the real miracle here. Not just that Maxwell built a car that charges itself, but that he ignited something inside all of us. A reminder that no matter how big the obstacles, no matter how loud the doubters, the journey is never over as long as we keep moving. So as we watch that car disappear into the horizon, quiet, graceful, unstoppable, we realize this story is not just about Maxwell anymore. It's about all of us. Because the road ahead belongs to those who refuse to stop walking it. And the revolution, the dream, the movement, it keeps going. It keeps moving. It keeps going. It keeps moving. And it will not stop. Because hope, just like Maxwell's car, has no need for a charger. It powers itself. Forever.